to on RTCI. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the English language program with Sonia Hadiawi, and I'm your host and friend Adnen Chaouachi, live from our studio in Avenue de la Liberté in Tunis. A new wave of protest, a beautiful and colored wave of hope is engulfing Tunisia. I've invited hundreds of politicians, MPs, experts in different sectors, but this time I have the pleasure to receive a caricaturist whose talent and artistry have changed the meaning of protest and criticism. My guest is a permanent contributor to the ERevolution page, which has more than 17,000 fans on Facebook. I'm sure you came across his caricatures. You've probably laughed or cried, but remember that the goal of Needal is to make you aware of what's going on in the post-revolution Tunisia. Needal, welcome to RTCI.
Thank you. Welcome to everyone listening to us.
Thank you for coming.
Big pleasure.
We'll listen to Biden also. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. Stay tuned. So I've tried to introduce the artist to thousands of listeners on RTCI. What about the man, the ordinary citizen? Who is Needal?
First, I'm a father.
Father? Yeah.
And I think it was my first reason, to prepare my legacy for my daughter. So I started thinking about giving her idea about the man who I am, all my mistakes and bad behaviors and couple lines, and then after that I think I was wondering what I can do till the 14th. In that moment I think the answer was offered by the country, by this nation and Tunisian citizens. So we started all sharing our thoughts, we started all putting a word in front of us, and I think we were all born in that moment. Because personally I think before the 14th we used to be like a dead body. So in that moment a breath come out of our bodies, and I think we became alive. And I'm talking about expression ourselves. So things followed since that. It was like, okay, here's the easy way to leave something to my daughter. And
so you did this for your daughter? I think it's a great achievement.
No, it was like my first inspiration.
It's a kind of dream.
I don't know if it was my dream. Nothing was expected in that moment.
What's the link between being an IT specialist or computer scientist and an artist at the same time? It's very difficult to understand the link between the two words.
Maybe, I hope I'm a natural artist. So computer science is like, a hobby, and became a job for me after that. So yeah, if we go back to the 90s and the late 80s when I started, getting interested on computer science, it was like a hobby. We was introduced to that word, and youth houses, they call this, or so
mise en jeu in French.
Yeah, mise en jeu. Yeah. So after
that's the advantage in it. So you can use terms in French.
Okay.
So you have a special way of sharing your thoughts.
Yeah, it's the easiest way for me.
How did the idea generate?
In the beginning it was like, during the training I was like, kind of bored in that moment, and I was almost thinking about what's happening in Tunisia. And I took a corner on my book and started drawing, and I took my cell phone and I took a picture of that, and I sent it back to Tunis and shared it with my friends. And a couple days after, they start telling me, about putting a signature in there. And
but you refused to put a signature?
No,
at the beginning?
No, I thought it's like, the idea, it was not really an art work, that needs to have signature.
The idea itself is a signature.
Yeah, I thought it's like, let's start sharing our thoughts, and build on that.
Yeah. Since we're talking about your style, the shapes and colors you're using in the caricatures, how would you describe your style?
I like when this question comes to me. A style, this was my dream, to have my own style, and now we're talking about this. It was like, the simplest. I thought about, the idea, talking was the most important thing. So drawing come after that. So I tried just to get conscious and get directly to the point, and here's it. The first drawings were like, done with stylo, a simple pen. And the signature was like, I mean, when I left my pen appearing in the picture. So that was my first signature. And then I started putting some colors, looking for different ways to express myself and different technique. But I kept, I mean, following the flow, and it was, I mean, the main idea. I mean, just express yourself and let people help you to find your way.
How does your daughter react to your caricatures, your art? I like to use the term art.
I'm so glad hearing this, and really like, I mean, you defining it as artwork. My daughter,
I think it's not only my definition, it's the definition of 17,000 people are following you on Facebook.
yeah, not all of them are so happy with, with what I'm saying. So
Yeah, we'll talk about politics later. Let's talk about art. What about the reaction of your kid?
I mean, she's 3 years old now, so I mean, I can draw whatever I want, and she's like, I mean, asking me to draw her always that young man and lady, I mean, with
Yeah.
2 dots as eyes, I mean, the classic one. She's not asking too much, so this is what I like about her.
You know, my son likes the colors and the shapes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sure, he likes. So, Ma Liberté de Penser, we'll be back in about 3 minutes. Stay tuned. Let's talk about the ERevolution project. Where is the ERevolution project, and who's behind ERevolution?
The blessing of God, of course.
The blessing of God.
Yeah, I mean, this is a holy project, so I would like in this moment to thank God for all His help. But the project is a big word. I mean, it was just a page. I mean, I started the thing, like, I mean, I told you, I mean, suggested by friends and family members. And then I put it in a group and page, and they started sharing picture on it, and then following the news, which was not that easy. I mean, because of the flow. I mean, we have, I mean, 1,000 information a day now since I mean the 14th, and trying to catch on all that, it's not easy.
And to choose the right one.
I didn't really, I mean, choose that. I mean, it was like, I mean, my way to help myself. I mean, sharing my thoughts, it's like, I mean, I need your help, I need your feedback, I need more inputs on this. I will try to enlighten some stuff. I will try to enlighten this topic or other topics, but I need you. I mean, really, who's behind it? I think the fans.
I thought at the beginning that there was an army of artists behind the ERevolution. It's amazing how you've used the language of computer science, ERevolution, to talk about art. Tell us about this mix between the two, art and computer science.
Yeah, but I mean, personally, I still think and I believe in this revolution was the first electronic revolution in worldwide. I think in the world. I mean. The electronic part was so important, and it was so helpful. We are talking about blogs, we are talking about Twitters, we are talking about Facebook. So those media are, like, I mean, for a big part in the success of this revolution. I mean, depends on people how they think about it today, and they are trying, I mean, to just say this not a revolution. Personally, I think now we just started the revolution, and people will feel it in the next couple of years, I think.
Oh, I think the thousands of people who are listening to us on RTCI, and Hatem Belhaj, you know Hatem Belhaj, he's an artist, a journalist, and an artist. He's probably listening. I want to ask you about your caricatures. How did you provoke many politicians from the government and the opposition? It's a way of provoking these people. How do they react?
I mean,
or their fans on Facebook?
I don't know personally, but
sometimes you can know.
Yeah,
right,
of course,
right from the comments posted on your Facebook page.
I think I don't have real problem with politicians. They are helping me just, I mean, to have, I mean, quotes for my
source of inspiration.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm jealous of them. I mean, they are putting the, I mean, the level so high I cannot compete with them. I mean, it's not easy to find a joke after someone say. I mean, they are just magicians. I mean, they are doing all the fun. We are just, I mean, trying to enlighten parts of their.
They are behind your success.
Yeah, I mean, no, they are making things terrible for me. I mean, I cannot compete. I mean, I told you. I mean, sometimes all I need is just pick their sentences and put them on a coat and draw that young ear man, and that's it. It's done.
Don't you think this is probably the magic of Facebook? The
yeah.
fact that you can share your thoughts and your art
absolutely,
with thousands of people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Time.
I mean, I mean, we are already in the future. I mean, this is already tomorrow, I think. I mean, you have immediately feedbacks, you have immediately reactions. I mean, before people just put their drawing or their ideas in the books and it's right there, and I mean, no one is, giving you feedback.
Sometimes you never hear about it.
Exactly. I mean, you just stay in your sphere and you cannot communicate with people.
You cannot even develop your skills and learn from their criticism.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm learning too much from people. Certain comments, emphasize points that I did not even thought about. I mean, when I put my drawing on Facebook or online, I mean, I have people giving me feedbacks and their interpretations, and this is, I think, the joy of Facebook. Certain people are frightened of their reaction or of their way of to interpretate.
Interpreting
the drawing, the caricature. So in that moment, I get like bad feedback. I mean, they are frightened. What do you mean? And they are trying to understand what I mean. No, I mean, it's not about me. It's about.
You don't have to explain. You have to understand the way you want.
This is it, and you build on it.
As it is.
Yeah, and you build on it, and it's your interpretation. Certain people are like really frightened of thinking, and this is the main goal of this page is like, think yourself. I'm not giving you any hint.
I'm not teaching you.
I'm not teaching you.
I'm not a professor.
Absolutely.
I'm just the artist. Posting and you can comment.
I'm here to learn from you. This is, I'm the student. I learned a lot from people. From the 17,000, I learned a lot. I mean, at a certain point, it's like a magic moment. I mean, you become addicted. Of course, sometimes I need to be aware of not falling into just likes. How many likes I get on this. Because sometimes you just emphasize a point that will hurt certain people, and because the subject or the topic, it's hurting itself. So you cannot make it funny, and you do not expect in that moment too many likes. But this is the point. I mean, what I'm trying to do is like enlightening certain corner on this aspect on this.
Political scene, Tunisia,
political scene, exactly.
Post-revolution Tunisia. Being humble is an advantage. You know that? Do you remember some comments posted on your Facebook page, positive and negative ones?
Oh, there's so many.
So many, yeah.
But
recent ones.
Not really a recent one. The most shocking one was after the death of Bin Laden. I did a comment on that event, and I got almost blocked from Facebook.
Really?
Oh yeah, in that period of time, I got so many bad feedback about that. How you dare talk about him this way? And I was so, amazed. Are you really kidding me? You consider this guy?
Could you give us an idea about this?
They were like,
about Bin Laden.
I was making a joke between Bin Laden and Bin Gaddafi because they were dead in the same moment. So I did a link between both of them, and I said, in that moment I was talking about Star Wars and Dark Vador. I'm not your father. The famous quote in that moment. So just was not that hurting. But just the link between both of them, people that just started screaming about that subject. You cannot make joke about this topic. I was like, come on.
It's kind of censorship.
Yeah, not only censorship. I was amazed about, the way certain people think. Bin Laden, really?
I see.
That was like, one of the first, discovery of this country, of certain mentality in this country. So.
Do you believe the spread of this mentality to Facebook reflects the reality on the ground in the Tunisian society?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the virtual world and the real world, they are just one world. It's continuity. Of the same big world, which is part now virtual and part real. And certain people think that way, and they are.
They reflect on Facebook.
They're part of this country and this society.
Some artists are asking the following question: should I leave? Should I stay? I think that artists should stay here in Tunisia. David Charvet, stay with us. You know, the comments in Arabic, Tunisian dialect, and French are an additional form of criticism. Is it something like a guide or a key to your art, your drawings?
I mean, the comment are the source of inspiration. I mean, for me. I mean, sometimes I'm not. Having the truth and trying to share it with people around me. I'm just learning from what I'm seeing, and of course, I'm not seeing the whole sphere. Or the whole iceberg. So the part I'm seeing, certain people see another side of it, and I'm willing to learn from their side. Sometimes, they are offering me point of view. To take me deep in certain points. So it's really important to me. And comments in French and Arabic, and even in English, because certain drawings are done in English. And
that's the proof. Thank you for offering the drawing. I like it. It's already on Facebook.
It's a pleasure. And I told you, it's too much learning from these people. I've seen smart people around me. I've seen artists around me. I've seen scientists around me. I've seen people I can keep just learning out of their comments. And this is the inspiration, and it's a source of energy to me. I cannot look behind me. I'm not willing to talk with everyone around me because I'm not a politician, really. I'm not here, just to have the sympathy of everyone around me.
But you have
just, tant mieux. I'm so happy for that, but I'm sure not everyone around me is happy, because I can see it on Facebook feedbacks and all this, requests to block the page. I can see that.
Really?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
People want to block the page.
Want to block certain picture, and when you get too many requests like that, from Facebook, Facebook start wondering. They are machines. They are not reading the caricatures. So they're like, okay, you're hurting the feeling of so many people around you. Stop doing it, or we'll block this page. And you cannot stop doing it.
Censorship.
Yeah.
Censorship on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, do you think artists are still misunderstood even in the post-revolution era?
Depends.
If you're talking about censorship, let's talk about your art.
Censorship, it's your way of your interpretation of the artwork. It's not, the real artwork. The artists, when they start doing their way of saying, it's their way to express their thoughts, but it's not about reading. It's not just text. It's interpretation after that will hurt people. You can just draw a sphere and say this is just a sphere, and people will accept it. And if you leave it that way, certain people will see harm out of just a simple drawing of a sphere. Or a circle. You see what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, of course. It's interpretation. It's not, the reality. It's always about interpretation. What do you mean? This is the question I get all the time.
And you have to answer.
When I have time, I do. I like talking, so.
And I guess you don't have time.
To a certain extent, yes, I do. After a long day.
Do you have people who are asking about the meaning or the interpretation
of
the circle?
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Really?
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
2013 and people are still asking about circles.
Certain people cannot accept their brain. Certain people prefer having other person thinking for them and being part of a group or a troop or wherever. It's helping. Facing your thoughts by yourself, it's hurting. Even for me, the likes I get, it's like, you know what, I'm not in the wrong way. That's, how I get energy out of the good likes.
You're talking about the Manufacture of Consent by Edward Bernays and Noam Chomsky.
Okay. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, really. That's the Manufacture of Consent. And you're fighting the Manufacture of Consent with art. Stay tuned. We'll be back. I want to thank thousands of people who are following us on Facebook. I want to thank a friend and a colleague, Najla Abbas. Selson has the next question for you.
Hello, Adnen. Hello, Mr. Needal. Welcome to RTCI.
Just call him Needal.
Okay,
Forget
Needal.
about it.
Okay.
He wouldn't accept.
So apparently you're doing such a great work. So tell me, aren't you thinking about extending your work, like making an exposure or on a gallery or something?
Indeed.
Okay.
That's the answer, okay? So, that's it.
So tell us more about.
No, I'm just joking. I mean, we already did first, collective.
Yeah.
We call that Bande de BD, and we started the first book. It was called Comique, and we were about 14 cartoonists and 4 other people for the logistics and everything. I mean, the support, I think. So that was our first experience, and it was really a human experience. It was like a big boat with all kind of styles and thoughts, and it was a nice human experience out of it. Now we are restarting a different experience. That does not mean the comic is dead, but we have a different experience now. We'll talk about it. It's in Lab 619, and it's mainly people out of comic and Bande BD and other cartoonists, and which is, another experience. And we are thinking about, doing more than this. It's a duty for us. Today it's our duty to do this, to draw, to follow the news, and to try to enlighten the news in a different way, and then of course move to the paper, go back to the real life. Doesn't mean Facebook is not real life, it's part of the real life, but it's another chapter in our life we need to cover.
Yeah, because he's actually good, he's gifted at his work. Hopefully it will work good for you, Needal.
Needal, I want to ask you about this Lab 619. What did you call it? Lab 619, yeah.
Okay, if you take...
And who's behind this project?
You can
mention the names.
Okay, I'll start by introducing this. The 619, it's... if you take... anyone listening to us, if you take a bottle of water next to you and you check the barcode on that bottle of water, you'll see that the code for Tunisia is 619. So it's Lab 619. It's made in Tunisia. To say this product will be our Tunisian lab.
Made in Tunisia by Needal, not by Lutfi El Abdeli.
Not only Needal. 619. It's a group of 6 people that I would like just to say hi to all of them. Shakib, Saif, Ayman, Ziad, our famous artist.
Do you have ladies?
Yeah, Nuha. I was just about to mention Nuha, and I hope I'm not okay, I'm bad at this. I'm sure.
No problem. They'll have the opportunity to watch the interview on my Facebook page, to see the English language program, and on YouTube as well.
Oh, great. So
we have the video. So
okay, I'll say hi to you. Now I'm just waving, just for the people following us on the radio.
Okay, go ahead.
So Lab 619, I said, it's this group which is in part people out of comic, but good friends, and it's an open experience. We'll try just to focus on cartoon in this. There will be no caricature, no illustration. We were missing this. There was a couple new experience recently, but during the last 15 years, let's say, there was nothing like BD and comic books in Tunisia.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, but were they selected, these 6 people, were they selected by you?
No, it's not me. It's us. First of all, this is. It was like.
I told you he's humble.
No. It's the truth. Let me tell you. This idea started like a chat in the street, and we said like, okay, we cannot stop by the first experience, which was great, but we need to move on. We need to give to this country. This country gave us so much, and we need to give a small part just to not feel that guilty for what we have already inherited from being part.
I'm sure you'll do good. Yeah.
So the chat started that way, and since that, we started building on that phrases and idea, and then here we are now. 6 months later, we have our first comic book, Lab 619. Which is the first one, and we hope we'll make it like.
Is it available?
Sorry?
Is it available?
Yeah, it's available in Tunis, in Sousse, and in Sfax. We have the list of libraries. I mean, bookstores. We have the list on our page on Facebook.
I hope it will be available in the regions as well.
We are working on that.
Is it expensive?
Oh yeah, I mean it's 2,000 millimes.
Just 2 dinars?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Are
you get
kidding?
it for free.
I thought you were going
No,
to
you
say...
get it for free.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't pay me yet.
Yeah. This is the one I got. Yeah, it's a very, very nice one.
I mean, the major idea is to make it. I mean, we were thinking a lot about the price. I mean, this was our first concern to try to make it not that expensive. I mean, for the first year, we decided just not to think about what we are going to invest, because the money, it's not the most important thing in here. I mean, time. It's. I mean, those people are
Working very hard.
Working very hard, and they are fathers and they are mothers.
They're
Okay.
so busy.
Yeah, I mean, already, but this is a duty for the country. So we are doing it. I mean, and we do not want the price to be
An obstacle.
an obstacle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Let's listen to Justin Timberlake, Cry Me a River. We'll be back. Stay with us. Needal, Garryani. So many critics believe that you're rewriting the history of Tunisia through your art, through your drawings. Do you believe in the concept of rewriting history?
rewriting history, probably contributing.
Contributing.
Yeah, I mean, rewriting it's too. I mean, it's a big responsibility for us. I mean, I would be happy. I mean, to one day that I would be mentioned as part of this country, and that's history. I mean, when you have a country like this, it opened doors to history. I mean, check back behind you. I mean, the last couple years. I mean, we just been part of this, the history of the world, the history of humanity, and being part of this nation. I mean, it's you're part of history. You cannot get this if you're not Tunisian. You cannot get this and be part of history if you're not Tunisian. You cannot.
This is
yeah.
actually the main the point. When getting straight to the point and talking about history and being part of Tunisia, is that what you try to contribute to your country and show that you are grateful.
Yeah, I mean, we are trying to contribute to our country. We are trying just to show part of gratitude to what we already get from it, and probably that mean our tax. I mean.
Needal, what kind of history is it? Is it the one written by historians and politicians, or a new one, something like an alternative history and memory of the nation?
I think it's an alternative one. Alternative art. Everything is changing around. I mean, I told you. I mean, we are ready tomorrow. This is tomorrow. We are just witness. I mean, to what's happening now. We do not realize actually what's going to happen. I mean, but if we still alive, I mean, in the next couple of years, we'll talk again about this moment, and we'll say, yeah, we've been there, and just that. I mean, it's just big pride.
Are you planning to organize trainings and workshops?
Yeah, we are going to Sfax. Soon. I mean, I'm talking about Lab 619 of it. We are going to Sfax for a workshop about cartoon and comic books. So, and we will hope. I mean, we'll have enough time. I mean, to do more than that. I mean, we hope. I mean, during this. I mean. School vacation now, to be available for kids around us. I mean, it's not really. I mean, 24 hours is not enough. I mean, a day. I mean, we need more than that.
Do you have something like a call or a message?
Let me check my cell phone. I mean, thanks to you, thanks to my family, thanks to my friends, and thanks to my fans and on Facebook and around. I mean. Thanks to Lab 619, I mean, being part of a team again, being part of Comic and the Bon de Vide, and now I'm part of 619. I mean,
dream team of 619.
I mean, that's not a dream team; it's still
not
open.
Yet.
I mean, we still have talents around, and we are trying to have them, and to be part of our lab.
Sounds like a movie's name.
Lab.
Yeah.
619.
Needal, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank the man and the artist. Thank you again for the drawing. The video of this interview will be available on the Facebook page, RTCI, the English language program. I think our maestro Sonia Hadiawi and Southern Turkey.
well, I want to tell to all of you people, wherever you are, drive safe and enjoy the springtime.
Thank you. Until we meet again with Adnen Chaouachi, stay tuned to RTCI. And goodbye from Tunis. Next, Tunis update in French and the German language program with Mounsouf Labia.